Hi there, everybody. This is David, and today I want to talk about the top 10 best turn-based RPGs that released this year. We know that there has been a boatload of them coming out this year, but what are the best? Which 10 reign supreme? That's what I want to go over today, and I do think that that's worth a sub, as I do try my hardest at 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I know I can get there, so thank you so much for that. And now, let me start going over a ton of these great turn-based RPGs that you've just gotta play. Kicking us off at number 10, we have Beloved Rapture, released for the PC. This is an SNES-inspired RPG that's a heartfelt adventure that pairs deeply emotional storytelling along with polished turn-based gameplay. Battles are fluid and intuitive, with mechanics that reward strategy as well as experimentation. Each encounter feels meaningful, blending beautiful animations with a battle system that perfectly balances accessibility as well as depth. The story is a nice tale of love, loss, and redemption, featuring a cast of characters who feel both relatable and also kind of like larger than life. The open regions are just massive and a joy to explore, and like the whole Lufia 2, Final Fantasy, and Chrono Trigger vibes shine right on through. This is a game that makes you laugh, cry, and think, all in equal measure. And now, on to another great indie gem with number 9, Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Can anybody say Suikoden 6? Because that's pretty much what this is. With over 100 characters to collect, half of whom can fight in your parties and the other half of whom kind of outfit your home base, there are tons of places to go and people to see because, Lord knows, you gotta collect them all. The battles are 6-person brawls that are lightning quick, and it even features the whole war battles and duels of the original Suikoden games. The story is a sprawling epic of war and unity, weaving together personal stories and larger-than-life conflicts. Each hero brings unique abilities, quirks, and backstories, making the journey feel both intimate and grand. The blend of heartfelt drama and lighthearted moments ensures that an emotional, unforgettable adventure. And if you think that story was good, just wait till you play through number 8, Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. The Trails series is a masterclass in storytelling, as well as, turn-based RPG design, with a mixed combat system of both action and turn-based that combines tactical depth and cinematic flair. The whole break system introduces a dynamic option for exploiting enemy weaknesses, making every battle kind of like a satisfying puzzle to solve. Coupled with the intricate side quests, there's always something to do. The story continues the Trails series tradition of weaving complex narratives filled with political intrigue, personal drama, and moments of levity. Calvard itself feels alive, populated with people who have their own stories and connections, and the cast is as diverse and memorable as ever. And returning fan favorites and compelling new faces lead the charge in this epic tale of rebellion and redemption. From the lighthearted storytelling, let's dive straight into hell with our next one, number 7, Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Ever since I was first introduced to this series with Revelations the Demon Slayer back in the Game Boy Color, I have adored Shin Megami Tensei. It's just so different and unique and, hard. I mean, you're fighting off gods and demons here, don't expect to walk in the park. And while the original release on the Switch was one of the best exclusives that the console had for many years, now it has gone multi-platform, and it really fleshes out the entire story with an all-new path that you can take. Not only are new story elements introduced, but the battle system, demon fusion, and field exploration have also been streamlined too. This here is a boatload of fun and a great way to get your feet wet into this legacy RPG series. But leaving Hell, let's move on over to my childhood, specifically the Great Gray Brick, the Game Boy, with number 6, The Secret of Aronis, released for the PC. Here we have our last indie RPG on this list, and shockingly not inspired by the SNES like, 99% of all other indie RPGs that we see over on the Steam. Instead, this is inspired by the Final Fantasy Legend or, the first 3 Saga games that were originally released back on the Game Boy. This here is a love letter to all 3 of them, featuring humans, mutants, robots, and monsters, all of whom you can mix and match into your party, while exploring a ton of different worlds and of course climbing up a tower to paradise along the way. This features turn-based combat, the ability to have on-screen encounters, and being able to charge up all of your weapons over at the inn, and not just for your robots either. If you're like me and you feel like the Saga series peaked over on the Game Boy, then this here is the game for you. And now, For another blast from the past, let's see this SNES remake. Number 5, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This is a generational masterpiece that turns revenge into an art form. The gameplay is a strategic dream, with formation-based battles that allows for endless experimentation and adaptability. Each encounter demands both skill and creativity, while the ability to pass on skills and resources over the next generation of rulers keeps the whole game fresh and rewarding. Every playthrough will be different. The story is an epic tale of a kingdom's rise and fall, centered on the fight against the 7 heroes, whose motives blur the line between villainy and tragedy. Each hero has their own backstory and battle gimmicks, making every encounter memorable. And your party will evolve over time, as they're filled with characters shaped by your choices and the legacies of their predecessors. The result is a game that feels as grand and personal as the revenge that it seeks to serve. So, from one remake to another, here is number 4, Fantasia Neo Dimension, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox Switch, and PC. I literally could not put this game down whenever I got my hands on it. I was hooked! This is an innovative turn-based RPG that blends handcrafted diorama aesthetics with cutting-edge mechanics. The dimension system is ingenious, as it allows you to bank encounters for later, then go through and blast the crap out of them all at once. It's 3 of you against 30 of them, so the encounters become elaborate tactical puzzles. Every fight feels super compelling, as you want to use your best skills that you can to vaporize the mobs. And the narrative explores fractured realities and the search for identity, with a cast that's just as charming as they are eccentric. From a brave but amnesiac hero to a robot and even a little shit of a boy, every character adds a layer of depth and humor. Then, just whenever you think it's over, Part 2 blows the game wide open. And now, with some traditional games out of the way, let's look at something decidedly non-traditional, and probably the greatest new protagonist that we've gotten in the past 5 years with number 3, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. I first fell in love with this series back with Yakuza Like a Dragon. I mean, how could I not? It was a classic turn-based combat along with a wacky story set in real-world Japan. And because that was such a hit, now all of the adventures following Ichiban will be turn-based too. And what a treat they are. This time, while the story does begin in Japan, it quickly diverts on over to Hawaii, where he meets up with another Yakuza staple, Kiryu. The classic Dragon Quest-inspired job class system is a bunch of fun, and I really do think that any RPG is elevated by the addition of job classes. And there's copious amounts of minigames, but thankfully, they are entirely optional here, unlike some other huge AAA RPGs out there. All told, this is an absolute gem and a must-play for any RPG fan. And speaking of gems, let's look at the series that started it all, with number 2, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Gosh, I love this series, and this game feels like it was made just for me. It has jaw-dropping HD 2D visuals that breathe new life into one of my favorite games of all time. The gameplay retains its timeless charm, offering depth and satisfying progression that still feels fresh decades after its original release. And the story is just elevated by the gorgeous presentation and modern quality of life improvements, including flashbacks and added lore, really fleshing out yours as well as Ortega's journey. Then, the customizable party of adventurers makes every single adventure feel fantastic, not to mention all the new spells and abilities that you can use, as well as the brand new job class. This is a nostalgic yet modernized experience that captures the magic of the NES era of games. But what could possibly top Dragon Quest? Well, a brand new IP can, and that's number 1, Metaphor ReFantazio, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Sometimes I feel like Atlas has been playing it too safe. They know it works, but they keep on giving us more of it, which is fine, I suppose, but it's always nice to get something a little bit different, like how they used to give us different games back in the day. So I was stoked when they announced this new IP, and well, yeah, it still is kind of like Persona, but with a fantasy skin. It's different enough to make it really enjoyable to me. The bonding events actually matter as they power up your various archetypes, and the job system is spectacular. That press turn combat system is back, and similar to Trails Through Daybreak, it also utilizes kind of like an action meets turn-based system. I was wary about the time aspect, but it actually works here with the story, and the characters and the world that they've built. They're all second to none. So here's hoping for a sequel to Metaphor in the not-so-distant future. So that's it for the top 10 best turn-based RPGs released this year. But now I've got to ask you, what are your favorite turn-based RPGs that released this year? Are they listed here, or did I forget any? Let me know in the comments, and how would you personally rank these? Let's all talk and chat about it. And if you like this video, here's another video that I really do think that you're going to enjoy. So please do be sure to check that one out. And as always, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and have a good day.